It's time for another supermarket beer. Yep, and it's from my favourite brewery, Brewdog. No, it's not from my favourite brewery, but this is a lucky break, so maybe we'll get one. Let's keep watching and see what this is going to be like. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to Morrisons supermarket and we're going to be drinking this beer, Brewdog, called Lucky Break. It's a New England IPA, my favourite style. It can only be a fantastic beer. But expectations are low because it's Brewdog, and Brewdog generally don't make great beers anymore. Do they ever make good beers? I don't know. But this is a brand new beer called Lucky Break. It's got a cat on it. Sort of, I don't know this. I think this maybe is being released especially for Chinese New Year because obviously there's a Chinese theme here. And I had a quick look to see what it has because there's writing on it. It's incredibly difficult to read. So I just went on the internet to see if it's any indication of the hops, because usually Brewdog beers, they don't usually put the hops anywhere, and you can't even know, you don't know what exactly is in it, and you think it's like some sort of blend and it's not real hops and all that sort of stuff. But it actually says that the hops that are in this are Mosaic, Citra, and Talus hops. And I also bought they've got a new milkshake double IPA as well, and that's got the same hops in it as well. But I thought I'd try this one first because it's a New England IPA. So let's crack it open, get it in the glass and see what it's all about. Since Talus is a bit of a strange one to suddenly be using from them. Citra, Mosaic, yeah, you know, I think they use the same sort of hops all the time. But obviously with Talus, which is quite a unique flavoured sort of hop, you know, you get that sort of Turkish delight, pink grapefruit. It's a very distinct hop. It's not something you can get away with in terms, I don't think you can get away with it in terms of having a hop blend. But anyway, let's have a look at this beer in the glass. I've got my big pint glass here. I quite like this pint IPA glass because, you know, you can get all the beer in it in one go and even have some spare. So we've got 2 fingers of, I'd say, frothy, just off white head. We've got a yellow hazy beer. Again, it's not, well, I say yellow, it's more orangey actually than yellow. It's a little bit clear at the bottom. Not much in the way of carbonation moving up. It looks okay. It looks reasonable. It's not your sort of custardy sort of bodied beer, but so far so good. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, it smells like, to me, like a supermarket beer. It's got that sort of twang. It's very sort of orange, tangerine. Can't really pick out there's tropical mango, things like that in there, passion fruit. I'm not picking up the aroma that I normally get with Talus, that sort of Turkish delight. Very sort of floral sort of smell. We're not really getting that. We're getting very sort of citrus, orangey citrus, passion fruit, mango. See what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Wish me luck. To me, it's standard supermarket fare. It's fairly light. Carbonation's quite soft, but it's quite light and a little bit on the watery side. It doesn't really have enough oomph, really, to get that flavour. I didn't say what the ABV was. It's quite strong, 6.7%. I say it's quite strong, but it's a good strength for an IPA. Yeah, I mean, it does taste a little bit like a lot of cheap beers, really. Cheap craft beers. You know, you're getting that sort of very familiar sort of fruity twang, but it's difficult to really pick out different flavours within that fruit flavour that you're getting. It's just a little bit tropical, a little bit citrusy. I'm trying to see if I can get any of that Talus, but you're not really getting it. It's a very one-dimensional as well. You sort of drink it and go, yeah, tropically, orangey, sort of citrusy, that's about it. I'm not getting much in terms of grapefruit sharpness. There's nothing cutting through the flavour. It's just a very I don't even want to say that word. It's just like they've created a formula of flavour, really, and they just put it in this, and it doesn't quite... It doesn't work, but it's pretty much what I expected from a beer from Brewdog. more orange. If I was going to pick out one key flavour, I'd say orangey. But for me, this is like a supermarket beer, a low-rate supermarket beer. It's not horrible, but, you know, I've had some... I mean, Hazy Jane isn't horrible, but it's basic. And the last Brewdog beer that I can remember drinking was the Arcade Fire, which was a double IPA. And it almost... I'm sure it tasted very similar to that, even though it was a double IPA. Body was light, and the body on this is light. Flavour-wise, difficult to pick out. And there's that sort of, there still is that twang, that it's sort of not pleasant, artificial, little bit too sweet flavour that just still makes me sort of concerned that this is a hop blend with those three hops. So maybe the fact that they're the same hops in this double milkshake IPA as well. If they got a job lot of it and they're making these slightly different beers, there'll be a pale ale that will come out that will have those hops in it. It's inoffensive, but it's not great. And it's, you know, there's better supermarket beers. I mean, to me, this isn't that dissimilar to that, the Campfire one I had from Sainsbury's recently. Yeah, it's drinkable and it's all right, but I can't, there's not much else I can say about it. It's not really disgustingly horrible. The last one we had a that kittens one, which was like pink candy kittens. Oh, that was, I don't even want to think about that, because that was one of the worst beers I've ever tasted. It's not like that, but it's still not worthy of, you know, if you're into craft beer, it's inferior in lots of ways. And, you know, I can't think anyone's going to say this is a really good beer, I really like this, I can buy it again. I wouldn't buy it again. I would, you know, there's plenty of other better beers, certainly Morrisons, for example, which I should have picked up. I'm glad I was sort of tempted, because I couldn't tell whether this was part of their 4 for free offer, because it didn't look like it was. And it's a strange price, $3.85 I think this was, which, yeah, it's a bit, you know, obviously Sainsbury's are $3.50, a bit different in price. It didn't seem to be part of that. So I didn't buy any of it. I bought this and the double IPA. But, I mean, you've got... What I didn't see in there, but you got the 2 polys in there. Certainly the IPA poly is the better one. You've got the salt ones in there. Your knucklebacks in there. That's all right. That's not that great, but the Tram, the double IPA is good. I didn't see the Northern Monk one that they used to have, Order of the Faith or something like that. So I don't know. There's a lot of changes in there. There's a lot of lower rated beers that I don't think are that great, but they're certainly, I think, better than this. But I've gone on and off. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Lucky Break. This is a New England IPA from Brewdog at 6.7%. We know it's got Citra and Mosaic and Talus hops in it, or a blend of those hops that make the concentrate that they may use. It doesn't really taste like real hops again. It's a very supermarket, low quality beer. It's not horrible. It looks all right. It smells all right. It's not overly fizzy, but it just doesn't pack the punch. And there's still this artificial, almost like an orange cordial sort of flavour that sort of lingers on the back end a bit, which I don't like at all. But let's go for the scores, starting with aroma, appearance, flavour, value for money. I said this was $3.85, which is an expensive craft beer from a supermarket. You know, there's a lot better than that, and you pay 50p or more, you can get a lot better beers. And finally, my overall experience. Tighten the scores up. Well, just when I thought we were doing quite well for the beginning of this year, we've got another beer that's another Bon Jovi of beers. It's in the 60s, total score. I can't really recommend this beer. It's a very supermarket flavoured sort of beer, and it's just bang average. It really is. So let me know if you've had it. Let me know if you've had any of the new Brewdog beers. I'm not a massive fan of Brewdog, as I say. I mean, the other brewery that I'm not a massive fan of, Tiny Rebel, they surprised me with their Hadouken amplified IPA. That was a lot better than this. This is just, yeah, bang average. And I don't recommend it. But if you think it's better, let me know in the comments. And until the next one, you know what we're going to do. Drink good craft beer, not like this one. And keep on rocking.